But anyway, the reason I'm going to talk about Bitcoin today is I'm very optimistic on Bitcoin. I own Bitcoin. I'm going to buy more Bitcoin, but I'm going to say horrible things about it. So if you can't take it, you shouldn't listen to this program. But I will explain why I like Bitcoin. I also have Ethereum. I have no Doge coins and all those other things. To me, that's different. That's a mania. So does it make sense to you? I mean, it's people don't know what they're doing. They're speculating.
And I think that's what's going on. There's a lot of information, like you said in the past, prior. Boomers rely on their retirement. These millennials rely on information, but they're receiving, I believe, the wrong kind of information.
Right.
So that's why I think today's interview is extremely important, because you can tell us what kind of future you see for Bitcoin, as opposed to all this fake news we're hearing.
It is fake news because, they said, well, the reason Bitcoin crashes is because China said they didn't like Bitcoin or something like that. And Elon Musk didn't like Bitcoin. That's not the problem. You see, China has not liked Bitcoin forever. In 2013, they said, don't buy Bitcoin. 2014, they said, don't buy Bitcoin. 2015, they said, don't buy Bitcoin. And 2016, I think they said, don't buy Ethereum. So when the press comes out and says the reason Bitcoin crashes is because China trashed it, that's not the reason it's crashing.
What we were discussing earlier and what I've been reading, I mean, this has been an issue since 2019 as well, where they weren't even accepting it. And they just came out and said it again. And now it's all hot news, apparently. And so people are dumping their Bitcoin.
For those of you tuning in, if you hate Trump and you like Bitcoin, you'll probably hate me after this. But anyway, I'm going to tell you what I know. I don't want to swing either way. It's like I said, there's a lot of fake news out there. So I love Bitcoin. I almost bought it, I think it was 2017 when I was at 20,000, but I didn't. And I'm going to say this much here, okay? This is real financial education, what they don't teach you at school. So there's three kinds of people in the world when it comes to money. There's an investor, a trader, and a speculator. I am an investor. So the moment I started buying Bitcoin, I wasn't a trader. A trader is somebody who's going to buy it and sell it. A trader, like in real estate, is kind of a flipper. They buy a house to flip it. That's what traders do. And a speculator is a gambler. And I would say most people who are chasing Doge coins and all this other stuff and Bitcoin, and they're speculators. They're all kind of gamblers hoping it'll go up. That's not what I do. So we at Rich Dad teach us, we don't say one is right or wrong. We're just saying there's three different types of investors. So I am an investor. I understand trading. That's what Andy Tanner and all those guys teach, is how you can make money going up and make money coming down. It makes no difference. So when Bitcoin crashed, I made more money. You see, and the guys who are losing money right now is because you're not a trader, you're a speculator. So don't say, oh, you hate Bitcoin. No, I think you're stupid. That's what I'm saying, but it doesn't mean I hate Bitcoin. Okay, so don't be a speculator, because those are gamblers out there. And real financial education should include why Bitcoin and gold and silver are going up and down. And one is because in 1944, there was a thing called the Bretton Woods Agreement. America had basically won World War II against the Japanese and the Germans and the Italians. So in 1944 at Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, the US government promised we will back the US dollar with gold. But as you know, the US lies a lot. Everybody in the world says, okay, we'll accept the dollar because it's as good as gold. So I wasn't born yet. 1971 is when a man named President Nixon broke the promise, and the dollar came off the gold standard and it became dead. So the reason we have all this volatility with the Fed and the Treasury and Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all that is because of what happened here. So in 1971, the reason your father and I traveled the world teaching financial education is because this changed all the rules here. So what happened in 1964, I started buying silver. I was 16 or 17 years old. And in 1972, I started buying gold at $35 an ounce. But in 1971, it was illegal for Americans to own gold. And I was a pilot in Vietnam flying for the US Marine Corps. And I thought it was really strange that it was illegal for an American to own gold. So I became suspicious of the Federal Reserve Bank and the Treasury. So when I meet most Bitcoin investors, they don't trust the Fed and the Treasury either. They don't trust Biden. They don't especially like Kamala, and they don't trust Nancy. Bitcoin guys, women are rebels, and Rich Dad is a rebel brand. That's why I don't say go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, get out of debt, and invest for the long term in the stock market. I don't do any of that because I don't have to. I have taken 3 companies public. I started the business, took it public and all that. Once I understood how the stock market works, I wanted nothing to do with it. So as you know, Alexandra, in our company, we don't have a 401k. And we don't tell you what to do after that, but we don't recommend you save money either. Because why would you save money? Because after 1971, the Federal Reserve Bank, which is not a bank, it's not federal, it's not really, there's no money in it, and the US Treasury can print money. The savers are losers. And the school teachers are still telling people to save money. So all you Bitcoin people out there, this is what I do. I save gold, I save silver, I save Bitcoin, Ethereum, and bullets.
What I find extremely interesting while you're talking right now is because, you get excited when things like this happen. And while other people are panicking over this Bitcoin crash, you're like, hey, it's on sale. This is an opportunity. And I think that's the key. It's the lack of financial education that we're seeing during a time like this, where it can really take a downturn in someone's financial status if they weren't prepared for something like this. Something I'm also realizing while you talk is, okay, so their attempt to gain power and regulate this and the economy really just adds value to the Bitcoin, just like it did for gold and silver, right?
Yeah, let me finish this because I'm going to go macro.
Yeah.
As I said, Bitcoin guys, they're, what's this big? Their minds are that small. I was just in Cancun, Mexico, and there was several Bitcoin millionaires in there. And they're all trying to get me to buy more Bitcoin. I said, why? It's high. That's like me buying Apple stock. It's too high. I want to wait till it crashes. The reason I want to do this is because so many of those young guys out there about your age, they're Bitcoin millionaires. But as the market started to crash, they became afraid. And the reason for that is because they got rich being speculators. They got lucky. They just happened to buy 10,000 Bitcoin at $1 each, and now they're multimillionaires. But as it comes down, and the reason they're afraid is if Bitcoin goes to zero, which it possibly could, I'm not saying it will, they're wiped out. And so what we teach at Rich Dad is, I've made it and lost it, made it and lost it. That's how you really learn. And the reason school teachers are poor is because they tell you not to make mistakes. I've made so many stupid mistakes. I mean, your father and I have, if you look up stupid people, we're probably at the top of the list. But we keep bouncing back. And that's really what entrepreneurship is. But our school system teaches you to be employees. So anyway, let me go on the big picture again. So this was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is financial education, how to be a capitalist. You have to have income. This is a balance sheet. There's another thing called a statement of cash flow. And that's why in I forget when it was now, we created the cash flow board game. This is a capitalist tool to teach you how to think like a capitalist. And if you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's all this book was. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a book on the most boring subject on planet Earth, accounting. So when I was 9 years old, my rich dad started teaching me this, playing Monopoly. So Kim and I created this board game here because Monopoly doesn't have a financial statement in it. And so that's makes this game so powerful. It's a capitalist tool. And that's why school teachers hate it, because they want you to be employees like them. Go to school, get a job, save money, pay your taxes, and get out of debt, and invest in a retirement plan. I don't do any of that. I refused. And most Bitcoin guys have the same bad attitude I have. But the problem is they're afraid of losing now because they don't know how to make it back. And that's why I said it here, that they think too small. So when you look at this is how big it is. It's infinite. So you go here. Okay, let me show you this, what happened. In 1971, I was on my way to Vietnam here, and gold at the time was $35 an ounce. It was illegal for Americans to own gold in 1971. See, Bitcoin and gold are in the same family. The reason I buy Bitcoin is the same reason I buy gold and silver. I don't save dollars. Why would I save something they can print? Doesn't make sense to me. 1971, gold was $35. Silver was about $1.90 or $2. And then what happened is by 1974, President Gerald Ford made it legal for Americans to own gold. Up until that time, I was smuggling it in. I was a criminal bringing gold into the country. I was buying it in Hong Kong and sneaking it into the States. So I was a smuggler. But Gerald Ford changed that and it jumped to $100. So my $35 went up 3 times, let's say. And then by 1978, it was now 300. So the same thing so when I saw Bitcoin rising, I saw the same thing going on, except not as volatile. I mean, Bitcoin is much more volatile than gold, but this was the high point here is around 1980 gold hit 650 an ounce. But there was a 2-day spike when it went to 850. And all the idiots jumped in. Gold's going up, gold's going up. And I watched all these guys who thought I was an idiot back here for buying it at 35. They jump in here, and the same thing just happened. It drops in 2000. This is 1980 when Reagan was in office. So it drops in 2000 to $312 an ounce. I don't know what silver was doing. I was still buying silver. I wasn't paying much. It was about $3 or something, $10. I don't remember. But I backed up the truck here. I was buying gold at about $350 a coin. I thought I died and went to heaven. And then what happened is 2008 came and the Great Reset hit, and gold for the first time hit 1,000. So it took from 1980, 20 something years to get to 1,000. So I was doing really, really well because I don't save dollars. I was saving gold and silver coins, eagles. And then what happened in 2011, it hit $18.95 an ounce. And then it dropped. Today it's around $18.73. So that's real markets. So Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down, and all that stuff. It's not any different than gold. It's just more volatile because you guys are more tech savvy, and you can Reddit and GameStop and all that stuff, and you guys trying to corner the silver market. As I said, you guys are more sophisticated, you have more aware, but you don't have the experience yet. So keep going, but you'll get that experience. So my friends who are laughing at me here aren't laughing today. They're saying, well, how do I get gold? Today, you can't even buy gold. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
Did you enjoy the video? Please let us know by smashing the like button and commenting what part of this video you find helpful. While you're still here, you can also check out these videos of Robert Kiyosaki. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep this investing tips a secret.